You weren't born ready to win. You were born into a system designed to keep you obedient, distracted, and average. Before you could speak, your mind was already being shaped by fear, by limitation, by people who told you to be realistic. You grew up learning not how to lead, but how to follow, how to sit still, how to wait your turn, how to shrink your dreams so they fit inside someone else's version of success. And they did it so well, you didn't even notice. You thought those thoughts were yours. You thought fear was natural, that playing it safe was smart, that settling was maturity. But they lied. They programmed you to lose, not in one moment, but over years, layer by layer, message by message, failure after failure, until you stopped asking questions, until you stopped dreaming big, until you forgot that the fire was ever there. Look around. Most men are stuck in that loop. Wake up, survive, distract themselves, go to sleep, repeat. No clarity, no hunger. Just quiet desperation under a fake smile. And they don't change, not because they can't, but because they were trained not to try. They were trained to fear failure more than mediocrity, to fear judgment more than regret. And that training, it's still running. Every time you hesitate, every time you sabotage your goals, every time you talk yourself out of doing what needs to be done. But here's the truth. Being born to fail isn't your fault. Staying there is. Because the moment you become aware, the moment you see the pattern, that's when the responsibility becomes yours. You can't control where you started, but you damn sure control where you end up. And if you're waiting for someone to fix it, stop. No one's coming. This world doesn't reward hope. It rewards those who take control of their mind, destroy the programming, and rebuild from the ground up. If you're still breathing, you still have time, but not much. And the longer you wait, the deeper the code runs. So if you're ready to take back your mind, subscribe now, because the version of you they created was designed to stay small. The one we're building is designed to dominate. Long before you had a vision of your own, someone handed you a script, a silent set of rules, a mental map of what's possible, what's too much, and what's not for people like you. And you didn't question it. How could you? You trusted the voices around you, the parents who told you to play it safe, the teachers who praised obedience over ambition, the culture that rewarded you for being quiet, predictable, average. They told you money was evil, that success was luck, that risk was foolish. And without realizing it, you accepted those terms. You made them truth. You started shrinking yourself to fit the life they expected from you. And every time you did, it got harder to imagine something bigger. Every compromise turned into a habit. Every limitation became your identity. They didn't have to chain your body. They just had to shape your thoughts. And now, every time you want to level up, that old script kicks in. That's not realistic. That's too risky. You're not ready. Sound familiar? That's not your voice. That's the system talking through you, and it will keep talking until you kill it. Because here's the thing. If you don't rewrite the script, you'll repeat it. You'll pass it down. You'll teach it to your kids. You'll die defending a mindset that was never yours. And that's the legacy most men leave. Not money, not impact, but mental chains. You want to break the cycle? Then you have to start questioning everything you were taught, especially the parts that feel normal, because normal is what keeps people broke. Normal is what keeps men tamed. Your job isn't to follow the script, it's to burn it and write your own. The system doesn't fear men with goals, it fears men who stop obeying the program. The mind you're operating with right now, your thoughts, your reactions, your beliefs, it wasn't built by you. It was handed down. It's a second-hand system, a recycled framework shaped by generations of people who never escaped survival mode. People who chose security over freedom, who feared change more than failure, who didn't build wealth, didn't build legacy, didn't build themselves. And now that system is running inside you. That's why it feels so hard to change. Why you keep falling into the same traps. Because your brain was wired to protect you, not to free you. It was built to avoid pain, not pursue power. It reacts to threats like risk, uncertainty, ambition, as if they're danger. Not because they are, but because that's how the old program was written. And unless you update that code, you will keep operating like a slave with a digital collar. Obedient, reactive, limited. You'll call it being realistic. But really, you're just running the same lines that broke your father, your grandfather, your entire bloodline. And you'll repeat it unless you interrupt it. Hard, violently, deliberately. Rewiring your mind isn't optional. It's survival. Because the longer you live with inherited thoughts, the more foreign freedom will feel. You'll hear truth and reject it. You'll see opportunity and freeze. You'll dream, and then sabotage it before it starts. But once you realize this mind was never truly yours, you take the first step toward freedom. Not motivational hype, reconstruction. You start replacing instinct with strategy, emotion with clarity, fear with design. That's when you stop being a product of your past and start becoming the architect of your future. Your default settings are not your destiny. They're just the starting point. What happens next? That's on you. Most people hear rewire your mind and think of affirmations. Pretty words in front of the mirror. Positive vibes. But that's not rewiring. That's decoration. Rewiring your mind means breaking the entire structure and rebuilding it from the ground up. It's surgery without anesthesia. It's going into the parts of yourself you've been avoiding, ripping out the lies, and replacing them with truth so cold it burns. You want to know what rewiring really looks like? It's waking up and doing what you said you'd do before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it. It's studying when you feel dumb. Showing up when you feel invisible, working while they sleep, thinking while they scroll, moving forward when every emotion in your body tells you to retreat. That's how you break the code. You don't just change thoughts, you change your entire response system. You destroy patterns. You identify every belief that came from weakness and replace it with precision. You stop reacting and you start designing. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, every single day, even when it's boring, especially when it's boring. The man you want to become, he already exists. But your current mindset has no idea how to get there. Because it wasn't built for that level. It was built for survival. For mediocrity. For safety. So if you don't upgrade it, violently, obsessively, you will return to the level you were trained for. That's why most men never change. Because rewiring hurts. Because it's lonely. Because it exposes everything you've used as a crutch. But if you push through it, if you train your mind to obey you instead of control you, everything shifts. You stop chasing goals and start executing on standards. So no, this isn't about thinking positive. This is about thinking powerfully, with force, with clarity, with systems that override emotion. That's how you escape what you were born into. That's how you rise above what you were trained to be. Rewire your thoughts, or repeat your bloodline. There is no middle ground. Every time you stay silent, every time you play small, every time you let fear win, you're not just hurting yourself. You're reinforcing a pattern that will outlive you. The mindset you carry becomes the mindset you hand off. Whether you like it or not, you're either a chain or a break-in one. You weren't the first in your family to feel stuck, but you have the chance to be the first to fight back. Not for glory, for freedom. Because if you don't fix what broke you, you'll watch it infect everyone around you. Your younger brother, your son, your team. They'll follow the example you set, even if it's built on quiet resignation. That's what most men never see. They think playing safe only affects them. It doesn't. It teaches the people watching you that playing small is acceptable. And that's how cycles survive. Not because they're strong, but because no one dares to break them. But if you're reading this, you've already felt the shift, the pull to do more, the pressure to rise. And that's not weight, it's purpose. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be the one who refuses to pass the poison forward. You didn't choose your starting point. You didn't choose your family, your neighborhood, your early education. You were born behind, mentally, emotionally, financially. That's not weakness. That's the truth. But if you stay there, that's on you. Most men never escape because they keep blaming their beginning. But no one becomes powerful by waiting to be rescued. You want change? Then take control. Start with your thoughts, your habits, your attitude. Start small, but start with fire. No one's going to hand you a new mind. No one's going to reprogram your beliefs for you. That's your job. That's the mission. It's not about revenge. It's not about proving people wrong. It's about becoming someone you can respect when no one's watching. You were born to lose, yes, but the game only ends if you stop playing. And now, you know the truth. You see the trap. You feel the pull. And that makes you dangerous. So if this message hits something inside you, comment right now. I take control. And if you're done letting your past decide your future, subscribe now. Because your story doesn't have to end where it started. It ends where you decide to rise.